Hello, friends. My name is host Derek. This is Rachel. Together, we comprise Talking with Famous People, the internet television program that tonight asks you the following compelling question: has this ever happened to you?
So, does this ever happen to you? You have to go to the bathroom. You sit down, or you stand up, whatever. Mostly sit down, and you realize you don't have your phone.
Has this ever happened to you? See, Rachel has an example. I didn't even have any example in mind at all. I was just figuring that the phenomenon that occurred to you was called this. Maybe in this case it's a blurry thumbnail. Has this ever happened to you?
Yeah,
Did you have a blurry thumbnail? If so, you're not alone because it happened to us tonight. Sure as biscuits, it did. Sure as biscuits. Sure as biscuits is an expression you just don't hear often enough anymore. Probably you never did hear it, but probably you should have been hearing it all along. Sure as biscuits. Are you sure about that? Sure as biscuits. Doesn't that sound like it's an expression that should exist?
yeah.
It does. So, good for it. Holy synchronicity, Eric, man. This has happened to you? You mean this?
Yeah.
Well, originally I was sitting outside. We were talking about how we weren't really very tired. We're probably not going to sleep. And a Nova 5.
We remember you.
I don't not remember you.
I remember you. Not like
I,
specifics, but I
yeah,
remember you.
that's the thing. I recognize the name, but I have no specifics about you. Like maybe you're.
Ruben R asks, is attention to how much force you need for an optimal poop SE? I would
Um,
think SI.
I would call that SI. Well, I mean, in order
Attention to
to
it.
in order to measure the right amount of force, which is not putting too much force, you have to evaluate how it's making you feel across the board. So you call it the blended gray borderland of SE and SI, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. You
It is
know,
the great borderland of SE and SI.
carrot. Put carrot there. A picture of a carrot, though. So that was good. You have it written out and you have a picture of it in case anybody's illiterate. They can now still read your name via the ancient Egyptian art of hieroglyphics.
On my old Facebook, I used to say that I was proficient in emoji speak.
Hmm. I do run a bit of an emoji deficit. I'm gonna admit that right up front. I don't emoji as much as I should. Instead, I say words.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Oh,
There, now I'm
that's a good
emojiing
emoji.
for you. Oh, there, it really looks like a heart there,
Yeah,
huh?
it does.
Oh, that's a perfect heart. Look how perfect that is. Oops. There. Lar. I'm gonna win the Perfect Heart Award. All right.
Alright.
I can do it with my hands though, see? You guys can't do it with your hands. You have to use YouTube's built-in fake hands.
Thanks for the heart emojis.
Thanks for the heart emojis. We heart emoji you back.
Yeah, we do.
And I'm also going to give you a triangle. I can do a triangle. Rachel can do a heart. I can do a circle almost. Let's see, like this.
Oh, that is a circle.
That's pretty circular. Well, it's kind of a...
Kind of looks like a Star Trek.
Okay, it's more of a oblongia of some sort. Maybe a squid or a manta ray. There, that's my manta ray.
That's
Look,
oh, that's a yeah. That is a manta ray.
that's a pretty good manta ray.
That's really good.
Because I have a triangle. It's one of your three major shape groups, though. I can't. Square is harder. I can do a rectangle. See, triangle's the easiest one to do with your hands. Circle, as you can see, is hard. You end up being like an elongated, oval or whatever.
Can you do me a favor and put your hands together like that? Yeah, you have it too.
I have what?
It's called a half moon.
Oh, the lines connect?
Yeah.
Yeah, my lines connect. Like, obviously, they were one time part of one continent, and then they split apart due to,
Well, Carrot, I wanted him to do that because of palm reading, because it's supposedly rare, but not to burst anyone's bubble, I don't think it is that rare.
oh, that's like we're two halves that comes like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That must be how the cell mitosis or whatever works. Who cares? Biology, schmiology. I can also do heavy metal hand sign. Does that make me a heavy metaler? Or does it mean hang loose like in Hawaii?
That's a
Or
good
I can
question.
say peace, or does it mean
Victory.
fight on
Yeah.
for USC, right?
Oh yeah, true.
Right. This could also be hook 'em horns for Texas. So there's too many different meanings for your various hand signs. That's why I wouldn't worry too much about me being part of any Illuminati. Rachel's known me for quite a while.
The actual secret is that I'm a part of the Illuminati.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Beyonce and Jay-Z.
The weird thing is, I do not know when you fit in the time to go to your Illuminati meetings.
I do it when you're asleep.
Oh. They must be close by. I guess, or maybe you meet remotely. That's possible. You and Beyonce discussing how you want to change the world power structure and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mostly, I talk about how they do things wrong.
But I think probably and a lot of the times in your Illuminati meetings, you're talking about what can we do about Mr. Bobby? He's on to us.
That is a subject, I can't lie. We do worry about that.
Yeah, Mr. Bobby's on to us, and boy.
See, Jim Carrey is in the Illuminati, and I am in the Illuminati to tell him he's wrong. Someone needs to tell him.
Well, Rachel, you do the important job of reminding him that he's not funny.
Yeah.
And he needs to remember that.
He desperately tries to make me laugh, and I'm always like, no.
Rachel just shakes her head and takes another sip of fresh, pure infant blood.
I can't do that either. They don't like that I don't participate in that ritual. But I just say I'm vegan.
Fair enough. If you're vegan, you can't drink fresh, pure infant blood. Jim may act woke, but he's not a good bloke. I don't think. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Jim Carrey. He's a bad person.
Yes.
In my opinion, and I don't like to think about him.
Oh, we have Carrot and Parrot here.
Good and wonderful people. like Rachel and me
Yeah, Eric and Rachel.
and Trouble. He's a wonderful man.
He is a wonderful man.
Nobody can accuse Trouble of being in the Illuminati. Are you in the Illuminati, Trouble?
Maybe
See?
he is.
Well, I think he said no.
It just sounded like more like a no than a yes.
Yeah, it sounded more like a no than a yes. And look at all you wonderful people. You're here, 5 of you, one of them me, so 4 of you, and you're talking to me. You're treating me as though I exist. Rachel as well. Why, that makes me exist more. Thanks to the power of observation. Remember, instantiation is the test for existentiality. So, since I am instantiated in more people's realities, that makes me more existent. Isn't that wonderful? You guys help me to exist more. A lot of people don't think of existence as something, think of it like pregnancy, right? That you either exist or you don't. You're either pregnant or you're not. But what if, really, it's like height? Yeah, more or less of it, you know? Well, the more people pay attention to me, the more I exist. Right now, I'm existing a normal amount of existence times 7 plus 6, because one of them is me. I don't think I count as my own observer. What do you think? What do you think about that possibility? So the people who exist the most are people who are the most famous. Like, who's the most famous person on the planet, do you think? Maybe Donald Trump, even right now.
No, yeah. I would say Oprah in the past.
Okay. So he exists the most, then. If he's, people, or if he has the most total amount of attention paid to him, then he exists the most. That would be the takeaway from this particular theory, anyway. Now, is this theory a theory we should apply in our understanding of reality? Well, I guess in order for us to do that, we need some other cross applying test of existentiality, right? We need another way to check to see if somebody existed more that's not using the same mechanism and see if you get the same results. But
Meta.
I don't think we're going to come up with that additional cross test. So, as a consequence, I don't think it's a meaningful thing we're measuring. Or, at least I shouldn't think it's a meaningful thing we're measuring yet, until I can come up with that other test.
And over 5, what 4 things have happened in your life since we've last spoken to you? I'm curious, if you don't mind sharing.
They grew a beard, they shaved it, they got a bear, and then they set it free, and then they had ice cream.
I'm happy to. Wow, that's great.
Those 5 things. Yeah. Did I get it right? Did I guess right?
Well, it did say 4.
Oh, 4 things. Okay, well, they haven't gotten ice cream yet. But
They're on their way.
they're on their way, yeah. So you think those bug sounds are cicadas?
Yeah. I don't know though. DUI, new girlfriend move, got a new job. Wow, that is a lot of stuff.
All during the course of this live stream? That's fast. You're working really fast. Again with the unusual air traffic. Well, just been an unusual amount of like comparatively low altitude air traffic lately.
There's 3 airplanes in the air right now.
I rarely see any, but the really high altitude ones like that one up there, that's common enough. I heard a helicopter yesterday, which is very unusual. I'm not sure what was going on. It may just also be peak of the tourist season. People find puddle jumpers coming into regional airports, you know. They say it's crickets.
Yeah, cicadas call during daylight hours, at night crickets and katydids. That's good to know.
That don't sound like crickets to me, though. Crickets go chirp, 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 you know? And they're like chick, 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 chick.
Well, I have heard cicadas during the day. As a kid, I remember during really hot days, the cicadas, like, doing their call. And
I think we do have cicadas up here because I was watering up there a little bit earlier and it seemed to prompt them to start making noise. Perhaps they were saying, stop squirting us with the hose.
Perhaps.
But
They used to scare me so much, like when you'd see their exoskeleton on a tree.
well, I don't think we have them really in California, but I don't know what else those things are that I hear during the day, you know? I've heard them in other parts of the country, but I don't think I've really seen them before. I remember seeing fireflies when I was in Iowa. We have some kind of firefly worm on the wall. I saw it again last night.
You did?
Yeah, let's see if it's still there. See if we can see it. Oops, sorry. I don't see it tonight. It was there last night. There's some sort of bioluminescent something that is, we've seen it on, I saw it once before, and then I saw it last night. This green little light that appears on a retaining wall, as though there's like a little LED light there or something, you know?
Yeah.
And then when we walk over, it's just some little kind of creature. I don't know what it is, but some kind of photoluminescent worm or something. A faster cricket chirp means warmer temperatures. Well, it certainly is warm. Yeah. It's 83 now, and it's almost 10 p.m. I remember watching you guys in a room I was renting with a depressed old man, and now I'm in my own house with a completely different life. It's crazy how life can change so quick or bad. Yeah, you're talking to people who have ridden that same boat ride as you. And I mean, we were very much in a room with a depressed old man, you know, just like you. So, yeah, it can be kind of a shock to the system, huh? It takes a while to get used to being so free of external pressures and stuff. Okay, Alex T. I'll accept your explanation. It makes perfectly good sense. And
it is pretty warm out though today.
Yeah, it's pretty warm for sure. It was hot today. It's gonna be hot. I'm sorry to hear that, Boba Fett.
Me too.
I really am.
Can I pull some tarot cards for you, Boba Fett?
Never fair, always true. It'll take a while to get used to it, Ananova. Eric, what did you conclude when it came to wishful thinking, and when did you integrate it into your life? Wishful thinking. I mean, I'm guilty of wishful thinking periodically when some bad reality is facing me and any other possible interpretations. It's a form of wishful thinking. I don't find it to have any positive application particularly. Um, but it's like other people probably think of other things as being wishful thinking than I think of as being wishful thinking. Other people think like some optimism of mine comprises wishful thinking. I don't consider that wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is maybe it's shampoo that washes right out. And as per the episode of The Simpsons where Bart got gum in his hair, and Marge says, "Are you sure it's gum? Maybe it's shampoo that washes right out." That's wishful thinking, okay? When you do not want to accept the reality that's right in front of you. That's what I think it was wishful thinking. Not like being optimistic about, well, let's see if this possibility could work out if I pursued this or something. That doesn't comprise wishful thinking.
Boba Fett, can I read your cards? I don't want to read them if you don't want them. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad shit's on the mend.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
Okay, cool.
life's a funny thing. Like Anna always says, shit can change on a dime. But it can get depressingly monotone for long stretches of time before that. It seems to be, life seems to express in like a river going through slow moving calm stretches and then rapids and then slow moving calm stretches and then rapids. But that's just primarily from my experience, I guess. I'm just projecting my experience really. I need to shave this mustache down. It's too dang long. Okay, we got 3 cards for Boba Fett. Let's see what they are.
Okay. First one for you, Boba Fett. The Magician. Ambition, drive, determination. Cuss? Sharp?
Let me see. Focus.
No, focus.
Sharp. Determined. Driven. Ambition. Magician, number 1.
Number 1, yeah.
Card number 2.
King of Pentacles.
King of Pentacles. Established, financier, patient, tycoon. And number 3. The Page of Rods. Impetuous, enthusiastic, naive, hasty, eager, bright, exuberant. That's a pretty good pull. Yeah, those are good cards to get. Sure, add an 5. We should do you next.
The Pentacle thing said entrepreneur.
Says established, financier, patient, tycoon, King of Pentacles. That's what it says. And an 5 wants some cards.
Yeah.
So let's mix them up with the mixity max, schmixity schmoo, schmixity smacks. We're gonna shuffle good, so the sacks, shuffly, shuffly, shuff. When you say that chant, your tarot magic becomes twice as powerful. Here's the first card. Now here would appear to be the second. Okay, Rachel, you pick the third one for and over 5.
So, what do you think the possibility of it happening? Because it could be like um, any woman. It definitely is not always like 100%. That's for sure. But
All right, and over 5, you got the 10 of Cups, marriage, rejoice, rejoices, no, rejoice, bliss, happy, family. You additionally got the Hermit, withdrawal, reflection, wisdom, advice, repose, counsel. Hermit, number 9. And you got the 5 of Swords, stalemate, defeat, obstinance, fixed, stuck. So a real mixed bag here. A real mixed bag you got. Okay? Remake of that what you will. Alright, Karma's Pimp. Alright, Karma's Pimp. Here we go. Shickily shuff, shuffly shift. First you gotta shuffle them with your fist. Make it go here, or make it go there. Then you gotta shuffle like you dare. Shuffle it where? Shuffle it here. Here you go, shuffly diggity there. Now we're gonna pull some cards for you. Now that we've done the important preparatory shuffling chant.
ooh, that's fascinating, LT. I saw someone, but I don't remember what we said to each other.
This would appear to be the first one. Karma's Pimp. Got number 2. Actually, you want to do number 3?
Yeah.
You should interpret as you see fit. That's what you should do. Alright. Yeah. Karma's Pimp. This is the Queen of Rods. Vivacious, extrovert, gracious, fiery, fun. Number 2. The Knight of Swords. Restless, hustle, clever, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This one has 3 astrology things on it. And the 7 of Swords. Betrayal, exploit, guile, unethical. I don't necessarily agree with that interpretation of the 7 of Swords.
Sometimes the 7 of Swords can be like avoiding unnecessary conflict. You know, like it's better to kind of like just back away and do your own thing.
Yeah, I see it also as serving your own interests.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which, depending on your relationship with your own interests, can be a good thing, something you're not as prone to do as you should be. Like, I got this card a lot when we were leaving LA, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So we were leaving with a bunch of swords up to Mariposa, and it was the right thing to do for sure. There was nothing bad about it at all. So, I don't know. You interpret it however you want.
I like that he's a Libra.
Yeah.
That makes sense for the Knight of Swords.
Don't cast pearls before swines. And don't cast swines before pearls either.
I'm like kind of curious to like
Have you done
Draw for-
Sphere? Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. I don't know what you said.
Did you do yuck yet?
No, I didn't do Fiag Yuck yet. Alright, so Fiat is next, then LII last, and then I want to get to Alec T because I want to do an update on his reading from May.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so Fiat. Fiat. Slim Shady. Show Media. That's interesting, Alec T. Okay, Fiat. Your last card. Alright, your first card, Fiat. The world. Arrival, surpass, opus, vast, attainment. Number 21. Second card. Yep, it's a major arcana. Second card. 9 of Cups. Wish card. Win, luck, plentiful. Then your last card. Ooh, restless, hustle, clever, Knight of Swords. Did you say that you got the Knight of Swords a lot? Or King of Swords? Who said that? But yeah, you got the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Oh, the Queen usually. You're welcome, Fiakiak. Okay, so LII last is next, then Alec T, and then Show Media. Parrot, I appreciate your emojis. Yeah, she's the most rational queen of the group. Fiakiak, the Queen of Swords. She's also very witty, they say. She has a sense of humor about her, but like, definitely listen to her. Carrots last, okay. Li last. Li last. Li last. Okay. Li last. First card. Major Arcana also, number 12. The Hanged Man. Suspend. Pause. Clarity. Lull. Some other word that I can't read. Second card. The Knight of Cups. Romance. Artistic. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Lover. And for LI last, the last card is the Queen of Cups, Mystic, Deep, Seer. You're looking into your emotions hardcore. Okay, Alec T is next. And then show media, right? And then carrot. If I got it right. Let me know if I'm missing anyone.
Go ahead and take that chair, it's fine.
Thanks. Okay. Alec T. What happened in May? Alec T. Clarification on May reading.
It means Fiakarakiak. That's what it means. It's an old Nordic name.
Clarification on Alec T's reading from May.
Given to firstborn males in fighting clans. Okay. But it's kind of like a secret society thing, so Fiakarakiak has to deny it. You also got a kitty in your poll, Alec T.
Yeah,
so you know.
he put a stamp in it. Okay, first one. Ooh, the star, radiant, inspiration, holy, divine, ethereal. There's a woman with boobies hanging out over here.
Yeah.
Next card. Ooh,
Conflict.
conflict, 5 of rods.
That corresponds
strife.
with trouble.
Yeah. Challenge, adversary, discord.
Yep. You got trouble.
So maybe the reason why you don't remember is because it wasn't something you wanted to hear. It created conflict in either in your mind or actually caused conflict, and you were like, I'm gonna back away from this. The last card you got, thinker, king of swords, rational, pragmatist, sharp. You're thinking, I did the right thing.
Well, that's good. That's better than doing the wrong thing. Yes, I'm petting you with my foot. Okay.
And you could even think that, like, the reading in May, that happened in May, is outdated.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Last one is carrot. It's true that I'm in love with you. There's nothing I can do. I'm glad that it correlates, Alec T.
I've got a kitty headrest.
You look so relaxed. Okay, carrot, carrot, carrot. This one popped out. Carrot, carrot, carrot. Carrot, carrot, carrot. Carrot and her cute bunniness. Carrot. Carrot. And last one for carrot.
Oh, I didn't get what I meant to get. Good.
First one for carrot. Queen of Pentacles, Earth Mama, honorable, successful, sensual.
You're a very sensual lady.
Next card. Six of Swords. Transition, voyage, tour, go, depart. You're thinking about something new. You're moving on mentally from something. And the last one for Carrot. Ooh. Eight of Rods. Go, results, progress, action, speed. Once you settle your mind on something, you might be ready to go for it.
I remember what I was going to get now.
Did you speak about Earth earlier? That's interesting, Carrot. You're welcome, Carrot. I'm glad that you thought so. LT says, lately I've been battling time itself. Do you feel like there's not enough time in the day to achieve what you want?
Or that you don't have a good enough relationship with time.
Yeah.
Or the other alternative, really. I just took 2 Tylenol and 2 Benadryl.
Meow.
In part because I feel a little bit moody, and Tylenol is a mood stabilizer. Will you make a prediction for the rest of July?
Sure, why not?
Sure, let's do a 5-card pull for the rest of the month of July. 1,
2.
3.
Oh man. When timing is off, it's like really difficult. Sometimes it feels like your expectations aren't met. 4.
And for the final message regarding the month of July, from now till the end, number 5 right there. Number 1, it's the 2 of Rods. Number 2, King of Pentacles. Number 3, ooh, the 2 of Cups. A soulmate experience. Number 4, conflict. And number 5, healing. Well, that's appropriate to come after conflict. No, we didn't get a wedding pinata. That was really just a joke. Instead, we just had a regular wedding.
Oh my god. That's a lot. I could definitely feel that. Like, that reminds me when I was a teen.
You want the experience of a regular wedding? It was great. You know, I mean, it was eminently satisfying on all levels. It couldn't have gone better. It represented her family's full support of this. And, you know, it was super classy. We had prime red, old wines, and people from the LA Phil playing classical music. So, you know, plus out here in the woods, nice day. We got a nice, like, perfect temperature day for July. Everything went just perfectly. Karaoke went off. Everybody was loving that.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Also, my suit was
Fly.
fantastic. Yeah. Rachel's dress was gorgeous, of course.
Thank you.
But something more surprising was that my suit.
Yeah. Everyone was surprised by your suit.
I matched it with the flowers and everything. The flowers were fantastic.
Oh, fantastic.
The
And
flower
cake
and
was
cake
so
lady
beautiful. They
knocked
did
it
a
out
great
the
job.
park. The caterers knocked it out the park. It was just perfect top to bottom. You know, that's it was more than I could have hoped for. Like exactly a perfect mix of people, etc. It really went well.
It really did. And I'm glad that it showed. My mom just kept on saying, like, you were so calm during all of it. I asked Rachel what she wanted, and all she said was, a non-alcoholic beer, please. And like, I'm glad because I did feel really chill. Like I was listening to music. Eric told me not to worry about anything, so I didn't. I took full advantage of that.
Yeah,
Thank you, Acacia.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I expected the dress to be exquisite because the dress was expensive. But my suit, I got it at the Fresno Suit Outlet. I mean, you
It
know,
was a banger.
and somehow it came off just fine. It pulled it off just fine.
Oh yeah.
It helped to have the hat that Winston's mom gave me. That black hat was a good addition.
It was a good addition. It pulled everything together.
I couldn't find my blue hat. It's around here somewhere, I would assume. But I think probably the black hat was a better choice anyway. Just
With the pants and the
yeah,
lapel.
just to be a little bit less flashy. The slabs probably hid my blue hat from me, so I wouldn't make that mistake.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was also a powerful time just in getting to reconnect with Matt and Corey for me and Dave too. People I don't get to see very often and people to whom I wanted to like demonstrate that I'm okay, everything's fine, you know.
Yeah.
So
And the way that Matt was talking about the wine, how he like wanted to try like the different kinds, it made me so happy because I thought, and I might be overreading this, but it made me think that your dad would appreciate that because he had
yeah,
so many wines.
I'm glad at least a couple people there were interested in trying the wines. Some of it got drank. We ended up with plenty of bottles not even getting opened. That's fine too. Yeah, I show them my cool forest house. Sure, yeah. Occasionally, you don't gotta cut right to the quick quite so easily like that. But also that like just for some parties more than others that it's possible to be happy. I'm not worried about showing Dave that. Dave's happy. Dave's got a great life that he's very happy with.
Yeah.
But Matt and Corey both have a little bit of a harder time, as I did.
Oh, show media. I don't know. I might have forgotten, honestly. I'll do another one for you. Oh, I messed up the cards, of course. social media. Oh, no, I didn't pull for you. I have to. I asked if my move will go well and positive. Show media's move.
No, you're right. I'm saying you're right. Is all I'm saying. That yes, that too. But uh, no, nobody's saying anything like that. Okay, so you're everything's fine. Um, when we were planning to get married, I didn't have any of these thoughts in mind initially, like what it was gonna do narratively. I didn't think about it in terms of her family, how it was gonna make a big impact on our relationship with them. I didn't think about any of those things until as we began planning for it, things started becoming clear. Like communications with people were opened up and various things started changing. But it's not like I thought or anticipated anything except that we were going to get married, and I didn't even really think right away about who we were going to invite. I just, oh well, we're going to get married. We need to pick a date. Let's pick a date. I just let the meanings of the whole thing unfurl as they would. I didn't. It turned out to be a big deal. Like it turned out to actually prove to be very important to me. That it go off very well, and that I came to understand that it was a big chance to redefine ourselves in a lot of people's eyes in a significant way, right? But I didn't think any of that stuff when we were first like, let's pick a date.
No, I wouldn't. I didn't either.
So anyway, show me you got death.
Transform, release, done, change. Number 13.
Yeah. Oh, death. Oh, death. Yeah, well, we didn't do that. We didn't lose all the meaning. In fact, we found all the meaning that we weren't even expecting, I don't think. I don't know what we were expecting, right? I don't think we had a lot of expectations for this, except that we were going to get married because we had gotten engaged a certain amount of time ago. I remember Rachel expressing, we were watching like The Office, and Rachel not wanting to be that girl who's waiting and waiting for her engagement to actually be a wedding. And me thinking, well, we better hurry up and set a date. I don't want her to be that girl either. She doesn't want to be that girl. So let's set a date. And first we said like July 1st, then we pushed it back to the 8th. And that's it. Alright, what's the second card for show me?
Ooh, 10 of Cups.
Marriage.
Emotional fulfillment.
Family. And this one.
4 of Pentacles.
Miser.
Keeping what's precious to you close.
Keeping what's yours. Scott Gaff, would you like a poll as well?
Yeah, would you like a poll?
Let's do a poll for Scott Gaff. Let's find out what it says.
You're welcome, show media.
Okay. So Scott Gaff is going to first get this card. Then he's going to get this card. Then he's going to get this card. First, you got the High Priestess. Intuition. Feminine.
Sense.
Sense. Feel.
Omens.
What is that?
Vibes.
Vibes. And then number 2, High Priestess. So your inner woman right now is pushing its vulva out the tip of your penis. And you also got the Lovers. Another very sensual card. It's got gap. Are you full of sensual moisture right now? And your third card. Oh, you also got the Miser. You're going to keep your sensuality to yourself. And say, no, Eric, you can't have any of my sensual moisture. That's fine, Scott Gaff. I don't want any of your sensual moisture. Yeah, we sometimes pull for the cats.
Oh yeah, we do.
We sometimes
do you want us to do one?
We'll pull for trouble.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what trouble gets. Here's, yeah, this one I think. This one for sure. And I guess this one. Alright. You got this one. On guard. Wounded. Doubt. What else does he have? He also has temperance.
Number 14.
And
Balance.
death.
Oh.
Huh. You got a couple of major arcanas.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what's going on with trouble, you know?
I can't really tell what's going on with him either.
He seems fine to me, but he always is a little bit worried about protecting us from unseen threats.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Capillo really having a lot of access to us because he just wants to make sure that maybe we don't move again or something.
Oh, Karma's Pimp is Scott?
Oh. I didn't know that. Well, now you got another one. And this one's for Capillo.
Oh, she's the Knight of Pentacles.
The Knight of Pentacles. Entrepreneur, practical, reliable. Taurus, Virgo. Cap. Which short for Capricorn. Knight of Pentacles. Those are all the words it says on it. So, Rachel and I watched the Women's World Cup game earlier. And the next one is coming on at, I believe, 11:30. 12 a.m. actually. Zambia versus Japan.
Oh.
Starts in about an hour and a half. If I'm still up at that point, which I'm not entirely sure I will be. I might be.
I don't know if I will be.
But we'll have to see. And I might watch that. Now, what I think is important right now is that I feel like I want to eat again. So I'm going to make myself a French bread pizza.
I think I'm just going to stick with candy.
Okay, sounds good. The sweet and delicious flavor of candy. If you love candy, then you'll love eating candy. I could make myself a nice burger, but I don't want one. So I'm going to make a French bread pizza instead. We had burgers earlier. And oh sure, they were good. Maybe even bordering on fine. But man cannot live on burgers alone. And now what I want is a French bread pizza. It's important to feed your body with lots of food so that you have the energy to make it through the long working day. Okay. Once again, I got the order of operations wrong here. Should always start the oven first. Because that's to preheat to 400 degrees. Instead, I did this first, like I usually do. I put the pizza out of the box and out of the plastic and put it on there. Well, that's just bad TE, Eric. Not much more you can say about it, except that's bad TE. I'll have to admit that. So we got a room at the Madonna Inn. I guess we did that possibly during this live stream earlier. But, it was kind of pricey. Friday night at the Madonna Inn, I guess, it's going to be kind of pricey. I don't know if it has anything to do with Johnny being in town, but they didn't have a lot of room availability left, surprisingly. Looks to be, there's going to be pretty full there. On Friday the 22nd of September. Well, it looks like somebody dropped the camera. And that somebody may just have been me. So, the plan here at the moment, let's see if it does in fact play out like this. But the plan at the moment is to stream until my pizza's ready. And then probably transition to eating a pizza, watching a cartoon or two, and I may go to bed, I may end up going to bed, trying to get a little bit of sleep. Oh, themed hotel rooms? Yes, well, the Madonna Inn definitely includes themed hotel rooms. Hello, Jeffrey. How are you?
Hey, Jeffrey.
We're going to the Madonna Inn on September 22nd, and the room we got is named Courier and Ives. Presumably that means it's got like a hunting theme, like hunting dogs, and well, we're pretty good, We're excited about going to see this show in San Luis Obispo that we're going to see on the 22nd of September. And we're excited to stay at the Madonna Inn again, because this will not be the first time that we stayed at the Madonna Inn. And we had a blast last time we were there.
Yeah, we did.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Madonna is a lot of fun.
And we ate at that crazy steakhouse. It's got the craziest steakhouse ever. It's all pink. It's made for little girls. I don't know where Hicksville Pines is. Is it in California? But Madonna Inn has got to be the world's greatest example of whatever it is. Because it's not only like themed rooms, it's also quite upscale, Normally that kind of stuff tends to correlate with not very upscale. So, it's a pretty nice hotel. And it's a pretty fun place to stay. And Friday, September 22nd is going to be a pretty fun day for me and Rachel. Because we're going to go down to San Luis Obispo, check into that hotel, maybe you can eat dinner at that steakhouse and then go see Johnny play at a 900 seat venue. I mean, on a Friday night, place is gonna be popping.
I'm a little scared that I'm gonna be overwhelmed by the crowd.
Well, we don't have to go up to the front or anything.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Okay.
You know, I don't think we're gonna be overwhelmed by the crowd. Oh, and Idlewild. Wow. You know, Corey's mom is on the episode of California's Gold or Visiting with Huell Hauser about Idlewild. And she features prominently throughout the episode, actually.
Yeah. She's very knowledgeable of it.
Yeah.
She made for a good. Well, the bunny lady was pretty funny too. She was funny, but Corey's mom was more informative.
She was more trying to do a good. I mean, she was smarter about doing a good job than the bunny lady was.
Yeah.
Who was more funny, but not really. Like, fundamentally, what she had done was just nuts anyway. Like, her whole house was filled with these horrible bunny things. You can watch it yourself. Huell Hauser, just put Huell Bunny Museum. It's like, okay, lady. Enough with the bunnies already.
So many bunnies. And he's so excited by all of them. It's really funny.
But he also is like, but this is out of control.
Yeah.
It's all sticky under here, so clean it.
Oh, from when the Coke's.
Probably. There. That's better.
It does look fun. We only saw a little bit of it, but it did look fun.
They're talking about a particular place in Idlewild that has themed rooms. We didn't see that. I think you should interview Shakira. I don't know how to interview Shakira. Would I contact Shakira's manager or what?
I don't want to interview Shakira because she's into open relationships, and I don't really approve of that.
Well, wasn't really sure even who she was, except some kind of singer lady, right?
Yeah.
Why Shakira of all people? It's not like I like Shakira's music.
Shakira, they're not together anymore, but they had like 2 or 3 kids together. Her and this soccer player were like in an open relationship, basically. They said that it would be unrealistic of them to stay faithful to each other.
What kind of ridiculousness is that?
And they were featured as being like this, like
New modern couple or something?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Rachel, you're going to get people portraying that thing in all different lights. Some people are going to portray it as part of a new, larger tolerance that we should all have for differing lifestyles, and some people are going to portray it as just another set of dumb words excusing not being in a relationship properly. Which is what I think of it as.
Yeah, and they did split. Yeah, Gerard. I don't know how to say that.
I don't know how tall she is. Rachel's on the short side.
Yeah.
I want to interview Johnny. I don't know how to interview him though, but I would love to interview Johnny. Maybe I can email his manager or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else can you do? I could email his manager and be told, sorry, you cannot interview him. Or never hear any reply at all. I could do either of those things, I'm sure.
Okay.
Like penalty cake.
Yeah, like penalty kicks. I mean, people are free to do whatever they want. I just don't think that I don't want to hear about her relationships. I have no interest. I'm 5'2" also, Acacia. No, Congressman, you're not gonna know him from other bands.
Joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem.
And he is just a solo guy, but I do believe he has like people in his band. Oh, that's why he was in.
For the King of Angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. It's because we're out of drinks.
Yep.
I'm probably drinking the club sodas. We need to go to the store tomorrow. I feel surprisingly hungry.
Oh, the Goog says she's 5'2" too. Yeah, she's a tiny one. Social media.
Well, the thing is, Rachel and I both really have kind of an odd relationship with sleep. So, I suspect after I eat this pizza, I'll probably go try to lie down for a while. Rachel will probably lie down next to me. She probably will not go to sleep. I'll probably sleep for an hour or two, or a couple of hours. I have to get up and go pee, and whether I stay up at that point or not, it's hard to say. Like Rachel and I slept in until 12:30 in the afternoon today, but I don't think she really slept a lot during the night. You know.
I got up. I woke up.
You know, I got up during the night, smoked a cigarette at one point. I got up for like 45 minutes early in the morning. So we sleep weird. But one thing that guarantees we sleep better if it's cold in here, you know.
Yeah.
68, 67 maybe even. we sleep a lot better.
I'm also like not a fan of what Shakira did during the halftime show like 3 years ago. Her and J Lo.
What did they do?
They were basically like doing strip dances on a strip pole, and I was like,
How creative.
yeah. And they were twerking.
How creative again.
Again, yeah.
I think as both, even with said amplifiers, Rachel and I probably still prefer to manage a schedule in which we go to sleep at night. You know, we're staying up all night. It just it's to be avoided whenever possible. Really, sometimes it's the right thing to do, but I like to try to like I'm at a point in my life when I'm trying to exercise the spirit of the card temperance.
Yeah.
And 10:43 p.m. at night is not the time to re-up on your amplifier, right? It's the time to start thinking about, well, that's the thing. If you take it now, you're up all night, right? I expected, you know, probably to be up tonight, but if I can avoid it, I prefer to avoid being up all night, you know. You always feel tore up the next day. And then it just gets kind of like increasingly that way. When I was younger, it seemed everything gleamed. But these days, things gleam with the maturity of moderation. Yes, the maturity of moderation. A gleaming city on the hill that one day I hope to live in. Otherwise, what am I doing? You know, it's like, what am I doing? I need to take care of myself. I need to get a good night's sleep. If I can. And if I can't, it's very helpful to lie down and rest some. Just take a couple Benadryls. Maybe hit Rachel up for a gabapentin,
Yeah.
see if I can fall asleep. Or even if I can't fall asleep, it helps to rest your eyes, just to close your eyes and have your brain not having to process visual stimuli is a way of resting that makes some difference. Let's go visit the garage briefly and smoke a cigarette. Let me see how much more time is left on that pizza. And then, assuming there's like 5 minutes left, we'll go smoke a cigarette. 11 minutes left, that's plenty of time. I guess I'm so hungry, I'm imagining time passing faster than it is because I want my pizza. Well, hello, you guys. Oh my gosh. It is so good to see you. I'm so excited to be here. It's exciting. My excitement level has reached a fever pitch. If you enjoy excitement and thrills, you're gonna love this trip to the garage. First we have fire. Now we have smoke. There's a lot of exciting stuff for one trip to the garage. We got signature brand club soda. I like to have my club soda signed by somebody. Preferably like Babe Ruth, but
Ooh, that's a good signature to get.
that'd be more valuable than my current club soda. It doesn't say who signed it, it just says it's signature select. Calorie free, sweetener free, caffeine free. Just water and bubbles, I guess. We got a little bit of salt in it. Sodium citrate. That's my favorite kind of sodium. It's not homemade, it's Stauffer's. Stauffer's made it. I just put it in the oven. There's limited functionality, of course, but you get to play with some of it. Not sure if they have that annoying buzzer or mute thing that keeps going off. Bobby Dunn get pinged. There's a trial. George Lopez is terrible, LA last. Why would you want that horrible fate? Just for George Lopez to be anywhere you go would be a terrible fate to endure. George Lopez mistakenly believes, and others for some reason affirm this mistake of his, that he is funny. George Lopez is not funny, and he should not have a TV show. He and Tyler Perry can hang out together and be not funny. Hopefully, though, they won't show that on TV so much.
I wonder. That's a neat piece. Thank you.
Most of all, Tyler Perry and George Lopez, both of them, need to just go away. And stop leaving their steaming dump on the highway of art.
Jennifer Lopez, I don't think has a sense of humor at all. Actually.
No. She's got a sense of self-importance.
Yeah, she does. When I heard that story about Ben Affleck tipping people at a casino and her going around to those people that he tipped and taking back the money, I was just like, oh my god.
That's
like,
appalling.
It is.
Well, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like those people are healthy people just because they're celebrities.
Yeah, it's true.
Probably a majority of them are not.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be a phenomenon that one can endure as a healthy person if it happens to you too young very often. Like, Scarlett Johansson seems to have a healthy relationship with fame.
Mm-hmm.
Just from things I've read and stuff.
Me too.
My general impression.
Yeah, she seems to be very down to earth and realistic.
That was good. I cleared a lot out of the time. Yeah, it was very cloggy. It's like the cloggiest clogtastrophe of Clogtown. But it's less cloggy if you use it. But it's still cloggy. I guess top is all cloggy, alright. You're cloggy clog? But does the weed listen to me? No. It continues to be so cloggy. Oops. Or not clogging up like that time. You scoundrelly weed, you. No, that's a good point, Joe Media. I hit the bong all the time, but the bong has never hit me, so it's pretty clear who's the victimizer. Yeah.
That is a good point.
Yeah. You got me. These things are trash. Alright, we're about ready to go eat a pizza. Just gonna pull one more banger here. As per me. Oh, you filthy, filthy, filth monkey. Why don't you pull through? What's wrong with you? Don't you know you're supposed to pull through? What a scoundrel it's being, huh? A real scoundrel. Okay, well, let's go eat a pizza. Well, let's scold the bong more later. I don't know if I should scold the bong or the weed. I'm not sure, but I've been having a lot of clogtacular adventures lately. You know how that lady who was in Karate Kid made that movie called Adventures in Babysitting?
Yeah.
Well, I want to make a movie called Adventures in Clogging.
So I think that's a good movie idea.
Yeah, it'll be all about how the bong's always getting clogged, and I keep poking it with these sticks, and these sticks keep getting all encrusted with black stuff, and I have to throw them away and get a new stick. I'm not gonna burn the pizza. I just always put it on the timer for 20 minutes and it comes out just fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, the pizza burns me all the time. It's got an extremely cutting wit. Well, speaking of a treasure, I like that when Corey referred to Huell Hauser as a national treasure.
He is.
He's a silly guy for sure. And I like the fact that he went around and made a big deal about a bunch of boring little things that you
Yeah.
could do in California.
Yeah.
But
So, Ruben, you made me think of this Theo Vaughn thing. That's how I was first introduced to Theo Vaughn. Listen to it and let me know what you think.
well, I may be leaving you soon. The piece is almost done. But I don't know. Maybe we'll hang around a little bit. But I don't know. I'm feeling
I could
like
draw cards on it.
you can draw cards on it. Yeah, sure. Go for it. That thing's about to beep. With all the beepings it has in its heart. That's interesting. If you turn the oven off, it stops beeping the timer.
Oh. Okay. So this is to going to bed after eating pizza.
Oh, it's just about what's gonna happen now.
Okay, what's gonna happen now?
Trouble. We pulled trouble as well.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Meon, Daddy doesn't like it when you sit up there.
Mommy's not too thrilled about it either.
Come on, let's go. Come on. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so right now. Dynamo, passionate, charming, cocky, knight of rods, athlete.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't even like the pizza. Yes, I shouldn't expect anything less, right? That would be SI. That's a polar.
Just chill your kitty bones for a second, kitty.
Okay. The next card we got is Knight of Pentacles. Entrepreneur, practical, reliable, Taurus, Cap, Virgo. And last card, ooh, Five of Cups. Regret, sad, woe, mourn, grief.
Mmm.
Trouble.
Trouble. Yeah, we beat them people, boo, but only trouble wants it. Um, look, I'll eat some strange things, you know. When we had leftover prime rib, he loved that. He ate the shit out of
Yeah, he did. He likes chicken too.
that. Mm-hmm.
But pizza he doesn't like. I've broken off pieces for him. He licks it and then that's it. Like he'll do one or two licks, and then he's over it. He's not really a pizza eater.
So what this poll here suggests is that if I were to end the stream right now, I didn't regretting it and being like, I wish I just kept streaming a little while longer. So we'll keep streaming a little while longer. I know I'm not going to stream any longer than the start of the soccer game because if I still feel like being up, then I'll watch the Japan Zambia game. Now, Japan should fairly well dominate that game. Japan's usually good in women's soccer.
Thanks, Boba Fett.
Well, I appreciate your support.
Okay. Can you pull cards for me? I could pull cards for myself too. I don't mean to interrupt your eating.
That's fine. Trouble, how did you win? This third time's the charm, huh? I don't have it in me to displace you 2 times. And you want to see what the poll is, obviously. This is for Rachel. Soulmates. What is this one? Page of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Hard
What? What am I like upset about?
Nothing. You have to do anything. That doesn't mean anything, Rachel.
Maybe I'm heartbroken that I might be getting used to the Clonopin. That's been something on my heart.
Mm. Pain, grief. I mean, you're not experiencing any of these things.
No. But the first two were accurate.
Yeah.
Can we do a clarifier?
Sure.
So I am talking a lot about things that are upsetting me, like different celebrities.
That's true. We were talking a lot about that.
Yeah.
Like Will Smith,
Yeah.
Shakira.
Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense that that's what you worry about. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Clarifier for the 3 swords. 4 swords. Rest and relaxation.
Healing is to the top.
Healing, yeah.
So, you're healing over a lifetime of events that have made you fear losing this. You're being like trouble. He's guarding us against non-existent foes.
Yeah. Hey, you got my heart in a holster, babe. I messed it up. Hey, you got my heart in your holster, babe. I wanna live in your goddamn veins, if that's okay. Yeah, wide-eyed, tongue-tied, 3, 4, hey. You got my heart in a holster, babe.
I wanna live in your goddamn veins, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Wide-eyed, tongue-tied, 3, 4.
Yeah, but actually I think he's a rooster, show media, because his birthday is December 23rd. Oh, is he the pig? I don't know. That would be the same as... Yeah, his birthday is December 23rd. So, maybe he is a pig. Yeah, he is a pig. You're right. You're right, show media. I'm wrong.
Our first three songs on the album are just bangers. The fourth one, Adios, it's a great piece of work, but not one of my favorite of his songs, but it's still great, you know.
So slow.
Then the other one is super fantastic.
Come a little closer. Sink into the sofa. She don't want my. She don't want my love. All those songs are good. All of them.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good.
It's a piece of artistic
Tell
gold.
me what to do, cause I've been giving up on you. They're a hard melody to sing.
On you. Tell me what to do, cause I've been giving up on you.
We're still not quite getting it, but it's tricky melody.
So it is.
It's so good though. When that part comes in now, it's like, what the hell? They're all excellent pieces of work, except for the last song, which is too long, but which is obviously not, you don't know if you can call it a mistake, and it was clearly a purposeful decision, which is why he titled it Selfish Hate. So, when I realized my initial critique of the song being too long, he had already, what's that called? Spiked it. Like in debate, if you anticipate your opponent's argument and spike it before they make it, then, and they like, just make it anyway, and then you go, apparently they didn't notice my spike, you just made them look like an idiot, right? That's what he did to me. He made me just look like an idiot. So I just had to say, okay, I am not going to issue any critiques of this guy because he's obviously ahead of me in terms of those critiques. You know, that's pretty impressive. What do you want to rinse for? There.
Adios. La 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 is good too.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
That's the first song that we heard off the album.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, he's grown so much.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with an idea. Mm-hmm. Who can forget about Strawberry Chainsaw?
Yeah, Strawberry Chainsaw is fantastic. It's hard to sing, you know.
How does it start?
It's like I can't sing it. You know, it's like I gotta listen to his music more so I can get the melodies down because there's something tricky about each of them.
Mm-hmm.
That even though it's super intuitive and resonates as like, oh my god, what a great melody, is not easy to sing.
No, it's not.
It's one of those. It's one of those general rules, like the other one that I've said before about how if it sounds familiar but you haven't actually heard it before, that's a good one. You want to keep that, right? You're making stuff. Well, another good heuristic is if it sounds super intuitive, but then you have trouble singing it for a while, then you're really onto something. Because like you hit something every time you sing it, you go like, "Wow, this really grabs me," but then it has some weird differentness to it that you can't remember until you've sung it a lot of times. I've had that phenomenon with shit where I record stuff. I have to keep listening to the good part that I recorded by accident, so I can't get it right before it. You know, I keep getting it wrong.
Forget about my meangs about people. You're like, let me put my, oh, there it is. Everyone's entitled to live the way they want.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're so much actually worried about them as you are worried about some potential alternate paradigm disrupting what you have.
Sure.
But a no such paradigm could possibly disrupt what we have.
It's really special. Okay, I'm gonna do one for you.
You turn our value up by it. So
Standing in the dead. Oh, that's true. That's not Strawberry Chainsaw. Oh.
I don't know what it is.
That I'm in love with you. There's nothing I can't do. So in love with you.
That's a great song. Yeah, it is.
'Cause I'm more than sure you're the one. You know, Strawberry Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna sleep in your goddamn bed. That's okay. Yeah, wide out, tongue tied, 3, 4. Sleeping bag. Sleeping bag would be cozy. Sleeping bags are essential for sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
And camping.
I wonder where I left my beverage.
Oh, outside maybe?
Probably. Okay. Let's return outside for a little bit. I'm gonna eat one of these peach rings too.
This first one's for you.
Page your cups. I'm a spirit child.
This one.
That's what they called me back in school, spirit child. Harmony, for heaven's sake, home, happiness. Yeah, I'm very accurate. Eight of Pentacles. Groove, flow, craftsman. Gratification. Satisfaction. Artisan, skill. I certainly felt a lot of gratification and satisfaction earlier. Because and you know, that's always satisfying and gratifying. like the amendments the Constitutional Congress did be ratifying. That's a pretty good rhyme. If you gotta rhyme with gratifying and satisfying, why not go with ratifying? And what gets ratified more than anything else? Amendments. That's right.
Thanks for reminding me. I was gonna say laws, but no.
No, those get passed.
Amendments get ratified. What was the last
Constitutional amendment?
to be ratified?
That's a good question. Probably like I mean, the last one I can think of is the repeal of prohibition. But there may have been a more recent one. It's pretty hard to ratify an amendment to the Constitution.
That was a good ratification.
Yeah, it was for sure. I know it was back when the country did things right. First, they didn't try to impose prohibition despite it not being within the federal government's jurisdiction. They amended the Constitution to make it within the federal government's jurisdiction. And then they removed that amendment. Mostly. But the problem is, the federal government made all these drug laws, right? Well, they should have had to amend the Constitution to do that. Just like they did with prohibition. But they didn't. So now it's just within their authority, even though it's not, thanks to various court rulings, just interpreting bullshit into, yeah, it's fine for you to do this.
Wow. Is that giving the states a lot of power?
No, it's the federal government seizing power it doesn't have. The federal government should have the authority to rule on whether the states, independently of the federal government, have the authority to make these kind of drug laws. But that federal government doesn't have any authority to make these kind of drug laws. And I think the Supreme Court should rule that the states don't have it either. But
yeah, I think you're right.
But regardless of whether the states should or shouldn't have it, that's a legitimate question to ask, right? Is whether the states should or shouldn't have it. It's a legitimate position to say they should. It's not a legitimate position to say the federal government should have that power.
No.
It's expressly not one of the Congress's enumerated powers. And just pretending like, oh, interstate commerce or whatever justifies it is just bullshit.
You know, it's like...
I mean, if somebody wants to argue that states should have the power to set their own drug laws and have these kind of like laws against possession and stuff like that, well, they have plenty of argumentational room to make their point within the scope of the Constitution. You know, the other side has its ground as well to argue that such laws violate one of the existing Bill of Rights kind of things. That might take a little bit of an interpretive stretch, but you could certainly include it in the 10th Amendment, which specifies that there are unnamed, heretofore to be named rights that have to be respected beyond those articulated, you know? Supreme Court can always use that to basically create a civil right, you know? But regardless, you could hear me sit here and talk about SCOTUS's various mistakes and correct rulings all day long, and
it should. I mean, like,
Well, I mean, if I look at it from the position of, say, a president, I have a much more pragmatic view on it. And it makes me increasingly less interested in complaining about things without already having a solution in mind, you know?
that makes sense.
And I do have a solution for some of the Supreme Court's poor decisions, which I've articulated before, which is use the Justice Department in the following way. Do things as president that I don't think the president should be allowed to do, and have my own Justice Department challenge it in front of the Supreme Court, forcing them to revisit this issue, you know. Either that or write new case law or whatever. So, I think that's a good strategy, and there are certain kinds of things I could imagine successfully reinterpreting case law, but I have to factor in the higher up it is. In other words, the more the decision would cascade down and impact a lot of existing laws, the less likely the Supreme Court is to rule that way, because they have, despite the fact that they shouldn't, they've got this sense of, let's not do anything too dramatic. The law moves incrementally, not in sudden shifts. So they're inherently resistant to stuff that cascades down a lot and impacts a lot of existing laws, because that's sudden dramatic shifts rather than incremental change. I don't agree with that judicial perspective, but it seems to be underlying many Supreme Court decisions.
I don't agree with that.
Well, I tell you what I do agree with is that by and large, people don't want to hear Eric pontificate about SCOTUS. I don't think SCOTUS is the most interesting of all the branches. The one I'm most interested in talking about, for sure. But other people seem to like to talk about the president most of all, or Congress second.
There should be a TV show about SCOTUS.
SCOTUS. Does it really sound like scrotum? That would be what the show's called. And then in parentheses, underneath, not that much really.
Yeah. That's perfect.
POTUS and SCOTUS went to the park yesterday afternoon. Sounds like a startable memory, right?
So media wants to know, who would it be your VP, Corey or Johnny?
Wow. Definitely not a Corey in his current condition. Maybe Dave Chappelle
Yeah, and that's who you've always said him.
would be a good VP candidate for me.
You would be. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's an NTP. But, you know, it's hard to say. I have to evaluate various parties and their willingness and interest in the job, as well as their capability. You know, variety of things. I have to do a little, like, head hunting kind of work, you know. So,
Do I get an assistant?
sure, you want an assistant?
Yeah.
Sure, you can find an assistant somewhere for you.
Also, I would like the assistant to be an INTP, because they benefit me.
Okay, well, as First Lady, you'll have your own staff of people too. First Lady has their staff of people, just like the President does and the Vice President does. It's not as big, but it's still, you get staff.
Maybe my mission stuff will do with children.
You could do that.
I love kids so much.
You could talk about, let's not pathologize our children. And stop abusing them because you create BPD people.
Yeah. Yeah, basically stuff like that. And I can go to daycares and stuff and play with them a little bit.
The only problem with this notion, Rachel, is that you have to do a certain amount of narrative work to avoid the following critique. You don't even have any children. What do you know?
That's interesting. It's fair. That's fair.
It's not fair. It's bullshit. But I'm saying you have to do a certain kind of FE narrative work.
Yeah.
I've not been blessed with a child of my own, and blah, 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 blah. If you pitched it like that, then people would be like, oh. But if you didn't pitch it like that in advance, then people would snipe.
That's so wrong. Whatever, I choose not to have kids, but it doesn't mean that I don't like kids.
I know, but this is the thing, Rachel. If this happens, you're going to have to train yourself to not look at what people are saying. Because you're going to have people sniping at you for the same reason people snipe at you right now. Because they don't like me. Right? It's like somebody would say that just because there's one of those people who, they hate this guy and everything he does, you know?
Then I could be a speaker for PCOS too, and apparently it makes my eggs unfertile anyway, so.
PCOS? Oh, right.
Polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Oh. Does Delilah have that too?
I don't know.
She's got ovarian cysts too.
She might have it. I mean, I would have to ask her. She gets bad cramps. It's a sign.
I'm postmenopausal now, so my ovaries are no good. So really, very low likelihood of Rachel and I getting pregnant, either of us at this point, I guess. Also, we intentionally tried not to get pregnant, so.
Yeah.
So it seems unlikely. But I could offer you a pregnant.
Well, maybe you are an ISFJ show medium.
Pause. Yes, I went there. I went there. I'm sorry if it caused you a great deal of suffering, but I did go there.
I don't want to be a mom. No offense to people.
Look at that big bug.
Oh. Is that a dragonfly?
Maybe. It kind of looks like one, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's what you might call a light lover. It's loving the light. It wants to get up in the fluorescent bulb. It's like, oh yeah. There's a light over here. I'm gonna fly at it. Bugs are dumb like that. Why don't they just fly at the moon all the time then? Like on full moon nights, do the bugs just all fly up to try to get at the moon until they die of coldness and lack of oxygen? Inquiring minds want to know, namely my inquiring mind. If in fact bugs are so attracted to lights, why don't they fly up to try to get to the moon? Pretty important question.
It is. I want to know.
It makes me think maybe it's something other than the light that the bugs are attracted to, like the hum of the light bulb. Maybe the moon doesn't have that hum. You know?
Then that would eliminate citronella candles from actually being effective.
Well, citronella candles are supposed to attract bugs to them.
Oh,
They're
they
supposed to
like
make them go away because of
Oh.
the smell they make. Presumably, the light of the candle isn't bright enough to attract bugs. But do fires, like a campfire, attract bugs?
I don't know.
But you heard the old expression, drawing a moth to the flame of a candle. But do moths really fly into fire and burn to death? And it still doesn't answer the question of why they don't all fly to the moon. Does anybody have an answer in the chat?
No.
I guess we'll never know the answer. But I know there's a big bug over there. You want to see it? It's over here. Up here on this thing now. What kind of bug is that big bug? I'm really not sure. It does look like a dragonfly when it's flying. Right now when it's just sitting there, it looks kind of like a... I don't even know what kind of bug it is.
Do you guys know?
What kind of bug is that? Can you see it? It's a big bug, whatever kind of bug it is.
It is.
It's
I have
bigger.
no idea.
It's bigger than your mom's face.
Ooh, burn.
That's how small your mom's face is. It's both, from your mom's face, it's both small and stick-like. It's like this big, your mom's face.
Wow, that's
Whereas
really small.
that bug is like this big. So, it's definitely smaller. Okay, well, it's 11:35. We are coming up on a little something that I like to call game time, in which Japan is going to compete against mighty Zambia in Women's World Cup to see who can kick the soccer ball into the goal the most time. The United States had a measly 3-0 victory over Vietnam earlier. I was expecting more. I mean, the U.S. controlled the ball and the possession of the game, like the entire game. We were just down there and trying to score goals, but we only actually managed to put 3 of them in the back of the net.
2 of them were by the same soccer player. And the third one she assisted.
Yeah, Miss Smith. Miss Smith is a very good soccer player. She's a new young soccer player. This was her first cap, as they call it. Maybe it was just her first World Cup game. I'm not sure. A cap is any time you're playing for the international team. But this is her first World Cup appearance, and she she really looked impressive on the field. They also got Rose Lavelle back on the field towards the end of the game, along with, what's her name? That blue-haired Rapinoe, yeah. Rapinoe looked rusty, not really that great, but Rose Lavelle looked like her old self. And she had what was sure to be a goal, except for this fingertip save that just barely bumped it off a frame. We're onto the crossbar, and then it came like straight down, but it didn't quite make it into the goal ever. But she looks dynamite, even and returning from her injury. Rose Lavelle does. I suspect the U.S. is going to get better as the tournament goes on as well because I don't think we played our best game against Vietnam. And, but realistically, it's a new generation of players primarily on the team. The squad that won the last two World Cups is mostly gone.
Yeah.
So you got a couple of veterans. Alex Morgan's still there. Rapino and Rose Lavelle, like I said. But by and large, the rest of the team is a lot of younger, newer faces. At least the starters are, you know.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting. And there are certain teams I'm most interested in seeing. Uh, Japan being one of them. I was interested in seeing Spain this morning. They looked great against Costa Rica, but Costa Rica scored two own goals. Although at the time they only scored one of them as an own goal, but I think if you look at that replays, the other one's an own goal too. They gave it to the Spanish player, but I think the guy scored it ultimately was an own goal because I looked at that video and it definitely came off the Costa Rican player's foot. And did not seem to touch the Spanish player at all. So, in my opinion, that was an own goal. Costa Rica obviously feeling sad tonight because nobody likes to get any goals against themselves. Right?
Right.
But regardless, Spain looked like the proper score for the end of that game was 3-0 anyway. And in both cases of the own goal, Spain was batting around in the box like a pinball. And it was kind of like inevitable that somebody with all these wild swinging foots was going to kick it into the goal. So, you know. Canada, surprisingly, had a tie with Nigeria. Yeah, a 0-0 tie, showing that Nigeria is a real threat, that there's nothing second class about that Nigerian squad. I mean, Canada had possession the majority of the game, but it was much more evenly matched than the possession numbers looked like. Nigeria looked threatening on counterattack, and you know, Canada's the reigning Olympic gold medalists, and Nigeria held to a 0-0 tie. So Nigeria is a real team to keep an eye on. But obviously, despite not winning the Olympic gold medal, the U.S. team is still the favorite and is still ranked #1 in the world. So I think it's going to be a good World Cup. I was reading how there's more parity in women's soccer now. There's going to be fewer super big blowouts. Like last World Cup, the U.S. opened with a 13-0 victory. This year, 3-0. And Vietnam not considered to be a very strong opponent. I think they said they were ranked like 70th in the world or something. So that's pretty bad. There aren't that many countries. So, but probably underrated a little bit in terms of. Well, I mean, the thing is, the whole game, all Vietnam did was play as defensively as possible. They never sent more than one or two people forward. They kept all these numbers in the back, and they were just on their heels the whole game, but playing to give up as few goals as possible. Like it's as though Vietnam never even considered trying to win the game. They just tried to concede as few goals as possible, and they successfully conceded only 3 goals. So good for them. Their goalkeeper had a good game, you know. She made a number of saves. She saved a penalty kick by Alex Morgan, which was not a very good penalty kick. But, you know, her most impressive save was at the end. She saved on that Rose Lavelle shot, which was by far the best shot of the game. That was a surefire goal if that lady hadn't, you know, suddenly changed direction, shifted her hand, and gotten one finger on it, which tipped it into the crossbar. It would have been in the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, if any of you out there are fellow World Cup soccer fans, then you too might be just 15 minutes away from kickoff on the Japan-Zambia game.
It's in Australia.
Yeah, it's being held in Australia and New Zealand. It's one of those.
And New Zealand.
One of those, yeah. Like 2 countries share a hosting because New Zealand's right next to Australia, kind of, and they're not big enough to ever host it by themselves. So, okay, why don't you tag along with Australia so that you can have a chance to do this too?
That's really interesting.
Perhaps even more interesting is that New Zealand, which gets an automatic bid to the finals, as it's called, the final 32 team. They defeated Norway in their opening game. As often happens in World Cups, the home team seem to really live up to their fans' hopes and overperform. Seems to happen every World Cup that the home team, just about everyone, not Qatar, but the home team outperforms expectations. So New Zealand continues that overall trend that Qatar bucked. I think Qatar lost their first 3 games, all of them. Did not advance and did not do well, if I remember correctly. But keeping memories of exactly which teams did what in World Cups is not my forte, so I could be misremembering.
It's better than mine.
Sometimes. Sometimes it is better than mine.
Fair enough, yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th and 8th.
I am feeling pretty tired, but I do think I'm going to definitely watch the beginning of the soccer game at least. See how Japan looks. See how Zambia looks. I got no idea. I've never seen Zambia play before. I'm assuming, you know, they're decent to come out of Africa because if Nigeria is the top squad coming out of Africa, they look pretty damn good. So, presumably, if there's a little bit of depth at all in the continent, then second place out of Africa should also be pretty good. But I don't know if Zambia has even ever made a World Cup finals before. Zambia, have you ever heard of them being in the World Cup finals before? For either men or women? I can't think of any of them ever being in it before. So this might be their first time in it ever. Zambia. I'll have to look that up when I go inside. Is this Zambia's first ever World Cup appearance? I'll be like, no. In 1956, Zambia lost all of its games when the tournament was hosted in yeah.
It's funny, I call it Zambia.
Zambia?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Well, I call it Zambia. Or Zambia. Zambia or Zambia, but Zambia makes it sound like it's a country full of zombies.
Yeah.
So, Zambia. Zambia.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's not what I call it.
You don't have
I've
to.
never once called it Zambia. They might
The
pronounce
only
it
thing that
better.
the only reason I know, like, that I think it's just different.
I mean, I'm assuming I've heard the country referenced in debate rounds before, and heard it pronounced like that, but I really don't know. I can't think of any specific instance where I've heard someone say the word before, but I feel as though I've heard it said by people before with the first syllable accented. The way you're doing it is accenting the second syllable, which could also be very plausibly a better pronunciation, but
Not necessarily better. I think it's just different.
well, it's like how I pronounce Tamala.
Yes.
You know, I like to pronounce it like that. It's a little bit unusual, maybe, but I pronounce Lupe the same way. So it's fair.
That is fair.
I'm sorry, there's no A on the end. It's Guadalupe.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Guadalupe.
Spelled like Guadalupe, pronounced Guadalupe. Guadalupe and Guatemala, neither of them made the World Cup finals. So.
Mrs. Mom says 2 days ago, Zambia's national women's football soccer team will make its World Cup debut Saturday, July 22nd, against Japan at the Games in Australia.
Okay, so yeah, it's the Zambia women's team's first appearance in the Women's World Cup. But I wonder if Zambia's men's team has ever made it to the World Cup. I don't think so. That's why I think it's Zambia's first ever appearance in a World Cup, men or women, I bet. But I don't know for sure.
I think it is. But I haven't followed Women's World Cup since my grandma Opelousas, so that's a long time ago.
Well, so here's my conundrum then as a fan watching the game. I come into the game a fan of Japan's women's team, which is always a strong competitor despite being shorter than a lot of the other teams, but accordingly a little niftier with their passing sometimes. And very hard fighting team, like, you know, they really are scrappy. But I obviously also like to root for big underdogs or tournament Cinderellas like Zambia. So it's two competing fan wishes. Kind of rather Zambia were playing somebody I don't like, so you root for them. But then they're probably going to lose, so just as well that I can root for Japan. I don't know. Does it say what they're
But see,
ranked
like,
in the
that's
world?
tough because that's like me, like, instead of rooting for the A's, I would have rooted for the Yankees. They're not the home team. I always think that you should root for the home team.
Neither home team here. For me,
Yeah,
I have a history of liking the Japanese team, so. But I also have a history of rooting for underdogs when they're not playing against the U.S., you know.
I'm rooting for Japan. I want to see what they're made of.
Yeah. Well, we got about 10 minutes left until the game starts.
Hopefully what do you call it? Who called
the referee?
Yeah, will be better than.
Yeah, there's a horribly officiated game. The U.S. and Vietnam. The referee did a horrible job officiating it. I don't think she'll be refereeing any octafinal quarterfinal, semifinal, or final games. The commentators were pretty blunt about it. Like, I don't know what this woman is doing.
Yeah, it really was like, what is she doing?
The commentators openly questioned the officiating multiple times.
Multiple times.
And commentators generally don't like to do that very much, you know. Okay, let's return to the inside of the house and transition out of this live stream and into some international soccer. Okay. So, really, abnormally high levels of testosterone? Huh, interesting. I'm not that interested in seeing Messi.
Neither am I, personally.
I'm certainly not interested in going to LA to see a game. If I were going to go to LA to see any game, I'd go see USC, play something probably. Alright, we're going to split. Yeah? Yeah. So we'll see you later. Thanks for being here. And don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.
Cheese!